format. This is second take, different format. Let's give it a go. Right, so in this video, I've taken snippets from my list, gaming collection list of things that I'm after, and I pre-screenshotted a lot of these, so hopefully there's a little bit of space around me that I can insert them in editing. Pop, 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 pop. Don't know where my actual frame is or scene is. Okay, I've settled on this and that. That'll do. Right, let's get straight into it. I'm going to pop up Dragon Ball DVDs, season 1 to 9. Got my little list here. Leave me alone. I need it. An aid memoir. So these seem to range from £8 to £12 each. So for the set, you're still looking at pretty much £100. I'm going to try and get one. Let's just start off with one. I can't watch anything if I start off with 2, 3, 4, 5, can I? So let's start with one. That's on there. Big Dragon Ball resurgence for the last week or so because of Sparking came out. I've never played the games. I grew up watching Z and Dragon Ball. That's a lot of childhood and that's a lot of fun memories. 20-25 minute episodes with about 5 minutes of actual plot advancement, and the rest of the 20 minutes was posturing, grunting, noises. Last episode, next episode, but still I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over a couple of, a Blu-ray and a DVD. So first up, we've got The Fifth Element, 90s sci-fi, late 90s sci-fi comedy. We have Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich. Love that film, and I'm looking for the 12 certificate. It has not yet been in my local, and preferably I'd like it on Blu-ray and the 12 edition. Not interested in the PG or the Steelbook because that's CEX price Steelbooks differently now, so that's fine. Gloss over that. The other one is Earthshock, which is the classic Doctor Who title, and I don't think I have all of the Cybermen ones on my classic Doctor Who's. That's something I would like. And that's only about £2.50 or so. Now, moving into 360, I just have the two on there at the moment. I've slimmed this down a lot, like everything. I'm having to slim it all down. I've had long lists. I want to collect all the Need for Speeds, all the Forzas, I want the Fight Nights, the Halos, and all of these sets. But I've taken it down. I can get them as and when. None of them, I don't think, are going to explode in price anytime soon. But I've got a couple that if they came in and if I had voucher, I could check them out. And if, for example, they're in really good condition, I'll think about it. And the first one I'm really, really gutted about, Project Sylphied. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've watched a couple of videos of, hidden gems or things that you don't come across that often. And this stuff seemed to be quite uncommon. I started watching that. I added my watch list on CEX a year or two ago, and it was like £12. And I should have just ordered it. I don't think it's ever come into my local, and I should have ordered that one because now it is in the rarities category. And I believe if I can put it up here or there, it starts at 40 no manual, 50 manual, 60 mint. Mint's out of stock. I think that mint under rarities is often out of stock because they don't want to. That's on someone's judgment. If someone disagrees, there might be an altercation. So for the most part, Mint's always out of stock. I'm probably not going to get that. If it came in, I'd think about it. Dragon Ball Z theme again. The Budokai HD collection. I'm watching some retrospectives on the games. A lot of people love those old PS2 Budokai Tenkaichis. Yes. Not played them, but no interest in playing for the PS2 or playing the PS2. It just feels a bit too outdated. I'll play a bit of Mega Drive, but I don't want to play the PS2. Don't know how that works in my brain. But the HD collection I would like. It misses out too because of some sort of music plagiarism issue, and 1 of 3 have their music replaced. Yeah, it is what it is. And the screenshot I took was of 360 and PS3. £10 more expensive on the PS3. I'd probably go on the 360. It probably performs better anyway. Right, if I scroll down my little list, we're going to miss out anything that I've got currently on the list for Xbox One, Series or PS4. None of them are heavy hitters or that interesting. They're just run-of-the-mill games that I would like if I come across them. but hopefully they just creep down a little bit more. So we're going to, I don't think I took any screenshots of these. There's a few on the Mega Drive. They're on the back burner to the extent that I'm not that bothered. If they come into my local, I'll check them out. But at the moment, kind of on the list, but it depends how you want to treat the list. Is it a list of everything that I might one day want if I come across it? Or is it a I must get this now list? So defocus, back burner, this is my current, if I run into it, I'd really consider trying to get it. Now I'll go into special editions. I'm going to put it here. Did it work? Alien vs Predator Hunter Edition. Now, I've probably already mentioned whether it's in a video previously, if it's released, because I've probably done such a bad job on some of these videos. I've got a thing for the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise. I like the first AVP film, and the AVP game is good, and I've got that on possibly PS3 and 360 platforms. There's a Hunter Edition, I think it's a facehugger or something like that. That's cool, I'd like that, I really like that. And what you're seeing on the screen here also is a massive discrepancy in price. Now I believe they're both out of stock, at least at the time of the screenshot. 360 is up for 70 and the PS3 is up for 25. The cynic in me thinks that if PS3 did come into stock, that would just match 360. I believe that has happened for the Alien Colonial Marines version. There was a disparity, but now that they're actually in stock, they're both sat at the, what are they sat at the 60? I think anyway. Moving on to, these are the hard hitters. All out of stock, I think, at the time of screenshot. I think these, I've got a few consoles and these are pretty much purely for the want of it, the aesthetic reasons. I don't need them, and I have examples of them, you know, without these, it's not like I can't play the games that the console's for, I already have the consoles. But in a later pop-in edit, hopefully, go. Segment cameraman here. Okay, Hyperspace Xbox One X. Normal 360, slim, somewhat beaten. PS3 with an SSD swap. OLED switch. Standard 1080p LCD TV, which could do with replacing. Yeah. These two swap for white. Poof, that'd be cool. Possibly swap for PS4. Back to the studio. I would like the PS3 Slim, white, preferably box, just because that means, in theory, it comes in brilliant condition, complete, and the value is going to only go up. And one day if I go, I don't need this anymore, I don't want it, or I've given up completely and I can just emulate, hopefully the value just creeps up and I can just put it back in the box and sell it on and I'll be back to where I was or in a better position. White purely so it fits in the TV unit. That's not in stock. The one controller or two controller edition not in stock, and it seems quite difficult to get hold of. Same for the 360. I'm sure that was in stock. That's 150. PS3 was 170. I think 200 for the double pad. I'm not bothered about the double pads because I actually have two white PS3 DualShock 3s. So yeah, moving on from those, I've got a PS3 and a 360, multiples. None of them are interesting at all, and most in their own way have some sort of issue or fault. But yeah, moving on, those are the ones that I'd really like if I could get my hands on them. I have to be realistic, unless I'm actually trading stuff in to create a large voucher, and that's a very large voucher. I'd have to save up, maybe come across something on Vinted or eBay, no matter what conditions it's in, and just go for it. Or I have to raise the cash by selling some of the games or whatever it might be. Now the last one, this one, PS4 Pro Death Stranding Edition. That's bummed me a little bit because that was $220 I think last week. I've come to just look at the list and now it's $230. That's a pain in the ass. I like this because I want that white aesthetic, but this is a white and black console. I believe the mid tier is black, and on top it's kind of like about black tar handprint. I've watched a walkthrough of the game. I've got no interest in playing the game, because it's essentially a walking simulator / story, and it looked really cool. Again, I probably wouldn't sit there myself and play it, but because it was a walkthrough with the top commentary and engagement, it was enough for me to watch it. And the console itself is pretty cool. Not a fan of the Pro Edition just because it's this weird free tier thing. The design is a bit meh, but I would like that, and I'll come on to why I would like it. Now, what I do like about that edition is the fact that it has gold see-through controller, probably because of the baby, the thing and the fluid and whatnot. Pretty grim, but it's a cool controller. A lot of the controllers for the PS4 limited editions they look a bit tacky, or they're just vinyls of a slightly different colour or something. There's not that many which actually stand out or are actually really cool, but that one does stand out to me. I believe if you didn't want to get it boxed, I think it's 200 unboxed, which in theory comes with the matching controller to the console. And again, I'm not sure if either of those are in stock. I imagine the unboxed is probably in stock, but then you're not getting the coolness of, I say coolness of having the box as well. I'm not going to have space to display the box, obviously, anywhere within the house, unless it's just on the shelf in the loft, it's purely a loft. It's boarded, but it's not a place where you can spend time. It's just a loft. I think my little light just died. Good stuff. And then moving on to why I'd like a PS4 in the house. I've got an original and it's out in the shed. Obviously I could move it, but I'd like a white PS4 console of some variety, and it might as well be a Pro, so it can sit there. My wife has recently talked about VR and how she'd really like to try VR. I think, okay, that's great and all. I've not got the money to spend £500 or £1,000 on some expensive, up-to-date modern VR experience, but the PS4 is actually, by the looks of it, an incredibly affordable way to, at the very least, try it. Now, in theory, I could just get all this stuff, try it, and if it's not for us, send it back. Whether I get it from a shop like CEX, I think you have some sort of 24 or 48 hour kind of no quibble, take it back, and then they're not going to ask questions. I think. I never used that or abused that system at all anyway. Or at the same time, you could probably just sell it on for pretty much what you bought it for anyway. So that's a PS4 PSVR Revision 2 headset. I believe the Revision 2 headset means it's only one cable from the headset to the unit to the console. And then the motion controls, the camera I would need as well. But these things are quite affordable. I think the camera's £15, and that just sits under the TV or somewhere. And the headset's gone up. I think it's definitely gone up. I added it to the list a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago only, and it was £45 unboxed. I think it was 58 boxed. Now boxed is 70 and unboxed is 50. I don't know why. I would still like to think that the PS4 and Xbox One era is new enough that the prices should still just be going down over time and not either staying and fluctuating or even going up. Especially for VR, unless they're just doing it because in the UK Black Friday is coming up, where you kind of get deals, where in reality they're probably not deals at all, but they've just, at some point in the year, they have to price an item high enough so that when it comes to the Black Friday itself, the sale, they can go, oh, previously priced at this, and now you're getting 40% off, when all they realistically have done, at some point in the year, they priced it up. So it looks like you're getting a really good deal, but you're probably not. So the cynic in me, I don't know if CX does that, but considering that I have noticed some consoles be going up lately, and there's stuff on my list that's gone up. The Fifth Element on Blu-ray, I thought that would just creep down. Is it considered a cult classic or anything like that? It was £8. I think it was £6 at one point. Now it's £10. So yeah, I hope inflation isn't hitting CEX, but I guess it is. And as always, it feels like these things are a case of, you should have just bought it as soon as you saw it. But unfortunately, we have to work for a living and there's not that much disposable income to just go, yeah, buy it all. And then life wouldn't be that interesting if you just suddenly had it all. And the last thing, is that better? The last thing on the list, at least for now, at least that I'm showing in this one, it is one of the more expensive along with the consoles. If I like making these videos, and I think I do, if I can get used to making these videos and actually talking to the camera properly, being engaging, and actually getting some sort of viewer count. Obviously, if it stays on 0, nobody watches, nobody cares, nobody comments, then I'll probably end up packing it in a few months. There's only so much I can keep forcing them to put effort into to get absolutely no reward out of. Essentially, I'm just not archiving, but I'm creating videos. I can maybe look back on one day and go, oh yeah, I was in that position and I had to make these decisions and stuff, and that's what I thought about that. Haha, what an idiot. But yeah, so that's if I start getting some viewership, if I can get a voucher, then I'd like to get the Pocket 3, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I think it's called. If you buy it used from CEX in B, which is good working condition, that's 170. I think mint is like 220. I'm not going to buy it new. I'm not going to buy the 4K one, which I think is like £400. Like, sod that, I don't need it. For example, for me, I've only got 1080p devices. That's the maximum I can view anything in this household. And I imagine a lot of people, that's probably the maximum they can still view. Some people have got 4K, fine, whatever, but I'm not going to be making 4K YouTube videos. It seems a bit pointless still. Maybe in 5 years it'll be the standard, but for now, that would be really cool. Now, obviously, even with the stuff that I showed, there's no other big stuff on my list. Those are the biggest things. I haven't tallied that up. I wouldn't be surprised if that somehow reached £700-800. Even if that's voucher, that's still a hell of a lot of money. That's not something that I could just go and pick a load of stuff up from the house and go, here you go CEX, give me a voucher, and then I can get all these cool things. So I'm probably going to have to, at some point, if one of these things comes up and I want it the most, focus on that. For me, now my interest is, over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to make videos, and I've been experiencing issues, because obviously at the end of the day, I'm just using a phone for this. It's a generation or two old phone. It's an old Pixel 7. I think there were 9 now. And there's only so much you can do, especially when there's low light, or the selfie mode is obviously not got all the sensors associated with the rear mode. I'm using the rear mode now, which means I can't see what I'm recording. I hope it turns out better than the selfie mode, but it's all part of the learning experience. This is the second time that I'm making this video. The first video was on my phone. I have my list open on my phone, and I screen recorded and recorded the audio at the same time, which is really cool that I can do that all in one device, and it worked absolutely fine. And that was half an hour of me going through my list. I watched it back and it was awful. I didn't watch it all. I watched the first 5 minutes and thought, that's not engaging content. And I didn't want to be like, here's my list. If you look here, I'm not a weather forecaster, and I didn't think that would be any good either. So I thought the best way to go about it would be screenshots, try and insert them. I know that I can do that, that's easy, and just do that and try to be the engaging part of the video. Whether that's worked or not, I don't know. Whether this is going to be another failed attempt that doesn't get uploaded, we'll see. It's a learning experience. So I hope you like that video. I'm trying new things, trying to experiment, trying to make sure I've got some sort of light. I'm lucky at the moment, I've got a short amount of time where there's no one in the house and I can film something. People are trying to sleep, it's not night time. I'm not got someone sat next to me thinking, what a flipping idiot. So yeah, still keep going. Thanks for any views, see you in the next one.